I'd like to call to order the West Covina Planning Commission meeting on April 9th, 2013, and it's 6:59 at this point in time. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silent prayer and meditation, followed by Commissioner Menifee will lead us in the
Raise your
pledge.
flag, put your hand over your heart, and say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Baez, Commissioner Menifee, Commissioner Castellanos, Commissioner Blackburn, Chairman Holt.
Here. Approval of the minutes from March 26, 2013. Any amendments, additions, or corrections?
I move approval.
Did you do that, Menifee?
I did.
Oh, Menifee first and Commissioner Blackburn second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Brings us to oral communications. This is a time when any member of the public may speak to the Commission on any matter within the scope of duties assigned to the Commission. Other matters included on this agenda may be addressed when the item is under consideration. For all oral communications, the chairperson may impose reasonable limitations on public comments to assure an orderly and timely meeting. The Ralph M. Brown Act limits the Planning Commission and staff's ability to respond to public comments at this meeting. Thus, your comments may be agendized for a future meeting or referred to staff. The Commission may ask questions for clarification if desired at this time. By policy of the Commission, oral communications at this time on the agenda is limited to a total of 15 minutes. Persons who are not afforded the opportunity to speak at this time may do so under item E later on the agenda. I have two cards. The first one is from Philip Marino.
Mr. Holtz, am I correct? The speaker has 15 minutes?
You got
5 or 15?
15.
Okay. Members of the Planning Commission, members of the city staff, and members of the audience. The largest investment that any person makes in the city of West Covina, in fact in their lives, is the purchase of a home. When I was initially starting my career as a deputy sheriff, I took a class at Mount Sac, and a lieutenant from West Hollywood Station by the name of Minutia asked us a question, and he said, "I will never live in the county. Is there anybody here who lives in a city?" And I raised my hand. He said, "Where do you live?" And I said, "In West Covina." He said, "Why did you buy there?" I said, "Sir, they have a great police department, a great fire department, and for my children, a great school district." And that's the criteria that everybody uses when they make the largest investment, when they purchase a home in the city of West Covina. But Minutia asked us to understand the problems that he saw in West Hollywood Station. He said, West Hollywood used to be a single-family residential neighborhood. So everybody said, well, what changed? He said, since you're in a county area, your representatives in downtown L.A., and developers give a lot of money for re-election campaigns, and a man may have a 12 or 13-year-old daughter, son, and he decides that they want a pool in their backyard, and he builds a pool for the kids, not realizing that this miller that came is asking for a zoning variance. But he's a working man, so is his wife. They kind of throw that in the trash can, and 2 years later there's a 3-story or 2-story development next door, and what he's lost is the privacy of his backyard. He said when that happened, all the homeowners moved. West Hollywood's destroyed. The zoning that was supposed to take place, industrial areas in one part, nobody wants to live next to an incinerator, factories in another part, and your home, where you don't have anybody looking at your backyard. That's why people move to West Covina. And what establishes those guidelines is the city's general plan. And we're going to ask you to uphold the rights, the largest investment that someone makes when they purchase a house. They could have moved someplace else. They chose to move here. I can take you to a development where the developers asked for a variance The front yard is from here to Mr. Castellanos' sign. The lady who lived there before the development was made, the variance that was given to the developer to make more money to put more houses in that property at the corner of Badillo and Orange. She says, I'm taking a shower. Somebody's looking down. She goes, I had to put a curtain up. I don't use my pool anymore, Mr. Moreno. She said, I was here before that development was put up. I said, what happened? She said, the city council and the planning commission didn't care about my largest investment. You have a big stake in this city. Are we going to be a homeowner city? Are we going the way of West Hollywood and we're going to have a bunch of renters? Are you going to protect the property rights of the little guy who doesn't have the money of a developer, who's asking for a variance? That's why my statement that I'm going to read to you now was made. It is the job of the Planning Commission to ask the city staff important questions. My name is Philip Moreno, and I have lived in West Covina since 1979, or for 34 years. I have served a three-year term from 1989 till 1992 on the Parks and Recs Commission, and a three-year term from 1992 till 1995 on the Human Services Commission. When I was appointed as a commissioner, I had the opportunity to meet Gus Salazar, our City Human Services Director. By the way, Gus just passed away in the last month. I asked Gus the following question. Gus, what is my responsibility as a commissioner? His response was, Phil, you must ask anyone who wants to use city facilities, quote, what is the city's liability if we allow you to use city facilities? You must make sure that the party using city facilities ensures the city from any liability for any loss or personal injury to anyone in attendance at the event being held. The reason I bring up that conversation is our city has been sued by the West Covina Improvement Association and has won at the Superior Court level because our city had not complied with state planning and zoning laws and failed to understand that there was a law titled the Surplus Land Act. I have attached a copy of page 1 of a document titled the April 2013 Planning Commission Status Report, which is you have here. It's one of the handouts. The last or the 9th item on that page is the medical/professional office building project that caused the lawsuit to be filed. The Planning Commission was never told by the city staff that the city had not updated its general plan since 1985 or updated its housing element as required by state law since 1995. The city staff never informed the Planning Commission that the land for the medical professional building fell under the provisions of the Surplus Land Act. If you took the property along the freeway from the people who owned it, you did it for two reasons. You generated sales tax for the city, and the property became, instead of taxed as an individual home, it became commercial property, so it benefited the whole community. But the city civic center is owned by the citizens of the city of West Covina. The Surplus Land Act says that before you get rid of that land, number one, you have to provide it as open space. It has to be appraised, and after it's appraised, it has to be put up to a competitive bid. None of those things took place when they made an agreement with CDG Development for the land at the Civic Center. That's why the judge overruled what the city had done with the developer. They didn't follow the Surplus Land Act. The West Covina Improvement Association attorney knew that our city was not in compliance with all these legal requirements to go forward with a medical office building. So why didn't the West Covina City Attorney, Alvarez Glassman, advise staff or the Planning Commission of the need to comply with the Surplus Land Act and the state planning and zoning laws? I went to an oversight board meeting of what is now the successor agency, the redevelopment agency. A gentleman from Mount Sac turns and says, you guys are getting bad legal advice. 3 times you've made suggestions to the California Department of Finance, and 3 times the California Department of Finance has overruled the decision that your legal advice has been given you. He says, you guys are getting bad legal advice. So why didn't the West Covina City Attorney advise us of what we're paying him to do? I would like the West Covina Planning Commissioners to protect the taxpayers of West Covina by asking the following questions whenever discussing any project that comes before them. Number 1, does this project comply with the city's general plan? Number 2, is the project in compliance with all state planning and zoning laws? And number 3, are there any other requirements that must be met by the city that we should know about before we discuss this project? In example, the Surplus Land Act. The planning commissioners must understand that many of the city staff and the city attorney do not live in West Covina. Therefore, it is the planning commissioner's job to see that they protect the taxpayers from unnecessary litigation from its own citizens who want to protect their property rights and their civic center. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from staff on that at this time?
No comment, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, the next speaker is Tom Tudor. Did I say that right? Tuter? Tutter?
I'm here for the item number 3, I believe it was.
Okay. You want to speak at that time?
Yeah, the applicant.
Okay. Okay, consent calendar. This is time for the public to comment on any item on the consent calendar. As consent calendar items are considered routine in nature, they are normally enacted in one motion. The chairperson may remove a question consent calendar item for separate action. Do we have any comments on the consent calendar from staff or from the commission? Make a motion to receive and file.
So moved.
Commissioner Menifee? Second. Ooh, we got a lot of seconds there. We'll have Betty Vallis a second on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that takes us to item number 3, conditional use permit number 13-02, categorical exemption. Applicant is Altus Miras and Company, Lynn Alapio. Location is at 330 South California Avenue, Westfield Shopping Center. The request for approval of a conditional use permit to allow the operation of a 1,645 square foot secondary school, Miras Secondary School, within the Westfield Shopping Center. May we hear the staff report, please?
Associate Planner Ron Garcia will be presenting the report.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, Chairman, members of the Commission. Before I begin staff's presentation, I'd like to bring your attention to the resolution, which is noted as F on page 4. The applicant has requested that there be a maximum of 6 employees. The conditions read 4. Staff's reviewed the parking requirements based on the number of employees at the facility, and they comply with that ratio. The applicant is requesting approval of a conditional use permit to allow the operation of a secondary school within Westfield Shopping Center. The age of the students attending the school would include youths 13 to 19 years of age. Students there can choose a variety of educational plans, including preparing for high school proficiency exam, also for the general ed development, as well as receive a California high school diploma. The school will be open 6 days per week. Instructional hours will be Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and on Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Students will travel to the center 2 times a week to receive instruction for 2 hours. The programs have been listed in your staff report. Those listed include English, writing, mathematics, science, etc. The applicant has noted that parking is rarely a concern in the operation of a secondary school due to parents dropping off their children and the age of children attending the school. In the unlikely event that a parking problem develops, staff has included conditions to allow the Commission to review the issue. Staff believes that the addition of the proposed school will be a unique and beneficial addition to the shopping center and provide a complementary service to the surrounding area. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt resolution approving the conditional use permit. The applicant is present for any further questions. I have been advised that the applicant has a PowerPoint presentation as well as a video presentation for your viewing. That concludes staff's presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are any questions of staff at this time?
No.
Commissioner? None of staff? Okay, no questions this time. Okay, would the applicant like to speak at this time? How do you pronounce your last name? Is it Tudor?
Tutor.
Tudor, okay.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Tim Tudor, and I'm the program administrator for Muir Secondary School. And my colleague is with me here, Lynn Alipio.
Lina Lipio. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for the organization.
Could you please repeat your name?
My name is Lynn Alipio, and I'm the CFO for the organization.
Thank you.
And we'd like to start with just a short 3-minute video on 3 of our current students talking about their experiences with us.
Fine.
Coming here has changed my life completely.
Everybody's super great. All the teachers are super nice and really focus on helping you get your work done.
I met some good friends here.
I'm thankful for this school because it gives me a lot more time for me to accomplish my dream of becoming a professional snowboarder.
I am aiming towards studying journalism at San Diego State University and hopefully becoming a writer for a magazine, a radio host, television host.
I'm planning on going to a university, 4-year university, and hopefully becoming a physician.
There were some situations in middle school where I was hanging out with kids that probably weren't the best people to hang out with, and I just realized that there was something that we needed to do about it.
I'm definitely allergic to milk, avocados, melons, tree nuts. And at normal school, like riding the bus there, it was always a scary experience. If somebody was opening up a pack of trail next to me, I was always a little bit nervous. I'd have a reaction on the bus and I wouldn't be able to get help.
I decided that I wanted to catch up on all my credits, so I wanted to switch schools and go to try a charter school out.
Normal school wasn't really giving me the time I needed to get on the mountain and train.
We found this school and we thought, this is right for me. We don't want to go to another school where there's more of those kids and there's more just bad everywhere.
When you come to charter school, the teacher is there with you, one-on-one, always helping you.
She'll talk to me, she'll give me advice, and just give me everything that I need. If I have a question, she knows exactly what to do.
Yeah, the teachers are very available here.
My teacher always knows who I am, knows what kind of problems we faced last time, and can continue on from that problem.
When I need help, I know exactly who to go to for what subject. We have a couple of teachers in our classroom, and I know if it's math that I need, I go straight to my teacher because she knows exactly how to help me.
I've caught up in terms of my credits. I have more credits than before I came here.
I will leave the school with a lot more self-motivation and a lot more confidence.
And I will leave the school with much better studying skills than I came here with, and with a completely different mindset.
I definitely believe that getting a diploma from the charter school is just, it'll be the greatest feeling ever.
MURIS is part of the Altus network of charter schools, which consists of the Charter School of San Diego, which was the 28th charter school in California. There's now over about 1,100 charter schools, so it was one of the pioneers in the charter movement. It has been replicated twice with Adeo Charter School. The California Department of Education gives grants to successful charter schools to replicate, to serve additional students and additional communities. And so back in 2001, it was established Adeo Charter School, and then in 2007 had the opportunity to replicate for the 3rd time, established Muir Secondary School, which is the program that will be housed here in the Westfield, West Covina. You can go to the next slide, and the next one. So altogether, there are 3 schools, which in 34 learning centers. So the setup is that so that students have a quality educational option in a convenient location for them to attend. The 34 learning centers are spread throughout Southern California, in San Diego, Riverside, Orange, San Bernardino, and now LA counties. Last year, we served about 6,000 students between all 3 schools and all 34 learning center locations in grades 7 through 12. What we offer is a blended learning program where students have the option of an independent study where they would do the Altus curriculum and come to the Learning Center two times a week. And then also we also now offer online courses, but also the face-to-face time as well. So they've got a couple different options at our learning centers. They all are 501c3 nonprofit organizations, and it's all tuition-free public education. We kind of broken down the students we serve into 3 groups. The first one is the kids that are coming in at grade level. They're doing fine, but maybe not in the place that they really want to excel at. And so they come in with the opportunity to maybe get ahead by utilizing our summer school program as well. We offer courses all summer. In fact, have quite a long waiting list for all 34 learning centers during the summer, since there's not very many summer school options out there left. So they could potentially maybe get ahead and finish high school early by utilizing the 3 months during the summer, each summer that they're with us. The second group is the students that are about ages 11 through 16 that want to eventually maybe go back to their traditional school. They'll come to us for a period of time. They could be behind by 3 or 4 classes or a semester. They want to utilize our learning center for a period of time and then have the desire to go back and graduate with the students that they had originally been with. And then the last group we call the late to graduate group. These are kids that are about 17, 18. They're pretty far behind in their credits, and they really are just looking for that last opportunity to catch up and get a diploma and move on with their life. So sometimes they're older. They're the 18, 19-year-old groups with really few options left to go to for their diploma. If we take these 3 groups and then enroll them at one of our schools, the goal is really to build them up as a person. And so in the far right column, you've got the motivated and self-disciplined. So sometimes we have students that really struggle attending regularly or completing their assignments or asking questions or feeling confident with their skills. So we really want them to be able to come in, feel connected, attend regularly, start building their confidence levels up, and showing them how to, show up on time and complete assignments and build their responsibility in the student. And then really move them to the productive advancing so that they're completing their courses, they're completing their grades, they're moving on to the next grade level. Working with them to become socially competent. We're giving back to the community. All of our students are required to do 120 hours of community service at a nonprofit organization. A lot of them do internships within the communities. A lot of them, several of our sites are at Westfield malls, and they have the opportunity to get jobs and go to school at one convenient location. And then, of course, becoming academically competent, where they're passing the California High School Eggs exam, completing their end-of-course exams for their courses, doing well on the state exams, and ultimately leaving us self-sufficient, contributing citizens back to society, taking the next step in their life. If we kind of break down the middle section, you can see it's supervised independent study. So they'll come in twice a week for about 2 hours working one-on-one with an instructor in the courses. They do 1 course at a month. Sometimes if they do well, they can do 2 at a time. But the format is so that they really are focusing on the 1 course before they move to the next course. Sometimes students they struggle with 5 to 6 courses at once, and so we break it down a little differently. Each student has their own personalized plan, so every student may be in different courses at different times depending on what their needs are, different grade levels. And they all have a goal, whether it be to go to a 4-year university, a 2-year community college, go into the military, or onto a vocational or the workforce. So the courses that they'll take are geared towards their ultimate goal of where they want to go after they leave us. All of our teachers are available to them. in the classroom, but also through the internet, through phone calls, through email, so they're accessible to them on a regular basis. And it's a very different type of environment. It's very welcoming, it's very safe and friendly, and the kids really enjoy that aspect. There's no bullying, there's no social pressures to fit in. It's really a very conducive environment to learning. And very rigorous in terms of what they have to accomplish for each course and each grade level, so that they're earning a C or better before they're allowed to complete that course and move on, so that they know they've mastered those standards. Just to look at the 34 locations we currently serve. Mirrors is located 2 locations in Hesperia, 1 in Apple Valley, 1 in Palm Desert, 1 in Chino Hills. Adeo Charter School is in Carlsbad, Escondido, 4 locations in the city of San Diego, San Marcos, Moreno Valley, and Riverside, and Westminster and Orange County. And Charter School San Diego is primarily based in the San Diego County, in El Cajon, 2 locations in La Mesa, 1 in National City, 1 in Poway, 14 locations in the city of San Diego, and 1 in the community of Spring Valley. As independent study programs, California Education Code allows you to operate in resource centers throughout the county in which you're authorized, or any adjacent county. So Mirrors, which is authorized in San Bernardino County, has the option to open up learning centers in LA, Kern, Riverside, even Orange County, in Inyo County. These are just some photos of the locations in other Westfield malls. Our relationship with Westfield goes back to the early 1990s, when the first charter school was established. They've been a strong partner of ours for a very long time, and have provided our kids countless opportunities to go to school and work or take internships or learn from the folks in the mall area. This is in Escondido at the North County. This is in the Carlsbad at Plaza Camino Real, right off the 5 and 78 freeway. This is out in Palm Desert, in the Westfield out there. And then this is in downtown San Diego. We have 2 locations at the Horton Plaza Mall, very popular location. Parking for our Westfield sites is hardly ever a problem. We know that this mall has excess of 511 parking spots. We rarely use too many parking spots. It's not something that we deal with hardly ever. So we don't anticipate any parking problems here. Most of our students fall within one of those 4 categories of how they get to school. A lot of them are dropped off by the parent or guardian. We train the parents to park in the stalls and then walk your student in and walk them back out. All of our students sign loitering law forms, zero tolerance forms, so that they're trained to know the ins and outs of what's acceptable behavior and what's non-acceptable behavior as they come and go from the facilities. A lot of students do take public transportation. They'll ride their bikes or skateboards to school sometimes. And our older kids occasionally will drive themselves. Safety is one of the big reasons why a lot of students come to our program. In schools that may house several thousand students, some of them find it tough to fit in or feel completely safe, and so they like the one-on-one, the small learning environment that we provide. They regularly tell us, them and their parents, how comfortable they feel there, and they really have the opportunity to excel and not feel that they're not fitting in with their classmates. It's amazing how many kids have a hard time raising their hand in class because they may feel that it's not cool to act like you know that you want to learn. And so here that's kind of taken away, and even some kids that come in with long lists of offenses in different schools really are completely transformed when they walk in the day of, because the platform for some of that behavior is taken away completely from them, and they really get the opportunity to just focus on learning and doing what they really, truly want to do, and that's graduate. This is a picture of our Westfield campus. This is our 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 campus. This is Over the past 20 years, we've had the opportunity to really transform the lives of over 33,000 students, really touch them. That's led to continued demand of growth for the program over these years. We find a lot of success for kids that want to come to us for a short period of time and want to go back to their traditional school caught up and more confident from when they came to us. So that's a success for us when they transition back, caught up and on track. We have a strong business model so that we know that to be successful as a business or as a school or as a charter school, you really got to have a strong finance and operations to support the instruction, and that's something we take very seriously. We have a strong level of individual accountability. Every employee, from a school clerk to a teacher to a classroom assistant, all has scorecards that lead up to the strategic initiatives and the strategic goals of the organization, so that everybody knows what success is for that employee and and how their work goes into helping us achieve success with our students. And we have defined pathways. So each student, when they come in, we use Naviance, which is an online program that allows students to learn more about themselves through surveys, opportunity to interview and see what different professions are and what they require to get there. And so as they come in, we have an idea of where that student wants to go, whether it be, as I mentioned before, to a 4-year, 2-year, the vocational a vocational program, or enter the military. About 10% of our kids go into the military as well. These are the locations, just the Learning Center locations for Westfield. It goes back till 1994, down at Horton Plaza in the UTC, University Town Center. It's in the kind of the La Jolla, North County area of the city of San Diego. Then again in Escondido, Palm Desert, out in El Cajon, city out east of San Diego, National City down south, Carlsbad, and then hopefully soon, very soon, West Covina. And again, the Westfield supports our program tremendously. They see a lot of value in what we offer. They have, kind of the city feel where they like to offer the movie theaters and the restaurants. It's not just retail, and we're their educational component. So we've been asked to look into to continue expanding into LA County, since there's many Westfields here, and provide opportunities for our kids in different communities around LA. For example, the UTC just went through a remodel down in San Diego, and the Corner Bakery went in, and through our partnership, we were able to do mock interviews as they were hiring folks, and 4 of our students recently got jobs there. Just kind of, it allows for a great opportunity for students that may need to support their families or want the experience of a job and go to school at the same place. Kind of a unique opportunity for that to happen. We focus a lot on the learning and innovation skills. Common Core standards are being rolled out in 40 states, and they focus a lot on the 4 C's, and that's critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, just the skills you need to succeed in life after high school and even life during high school. And it's all part of our curriculum and what we strive to achieve in each student's personalized education plan. We are a Malcolm Baldrige school. Malcolm Baldrige was the Secretary of Commerce under President Ronald Reagan. He helped to develop criteria for businesses to look at, to compete more with some of the international competition. It was opened up about a decade ago to education and healthcare. And so we've participated and been recognized 4 times by the California Board for Performance Excellence, which is the California's state-level program for the Malcolm Baldrige Award. And back in 05, 7, 9, and recently last year, we're given the Eureka Award for the success in leadership, strategic planning, workforce focus, customer focus, and results. And just a few other awards. Similar success, we've been able to continue to offer a full summer school program. As I mentioned before, we have waiting lists for the kids to get into summer school because they just need a credit or 2 to catch back up or make up maybe a D or an F that they got during the year. Provides a wonderful opportunity for that. All of our charter schools have always been unanimously renewed for another 5-year term. We've been accredited by Western Association of Schools and Colleges. In fact, one of our next learning centers we've been asked to open up is in Temecula at the office of the Western Association of Accredited. We'll be the only school that will be located in a WASC facility. They have an office in Burlingame in Northern California and an office down here in Southern California in Temecula, and they've asked us to open up a learning center there in Temecula this next year. And all our schools have University of California A to G list, so that the students, when they complete credits with us, can easily go on to be accepted into one of the UC schools. And these are just a sample of the list of the students that were where they went last year for the UC schools, almost all the Cal State schools. We couldn't list all the community colleges, but most of the branches of the military, a lot of private programs, private schools and vocational programs. So a lot of students do go on from our program to find success after us. And thank you for your time. I know it was kind of long, but just wanted to introduce it to you. Hopefully you see the value and the opportunity that we have here in West Covina. Thank you.
Are there any questions of the individual?
I have a couple.
Yeah.
You're going to market for students, I presume, in West Covina and Covina areas?
Yeah, the West Covina, LA County areas, yes.
Yeah, they're both in LA County, right? I understand.
Right. I mean, just further the budding cities as well, yes.
Okay. You said you had 33,000 student lives you've touched. How many of those have graduated?
About 70% have graduated. The other 30% have gone back to their traditional school. As I mentioned, we were redirective. So a lot of kids will come to us for a period of time, catch up, and go back. There's a small percent, of course, each year that do drop out for whatever reason. And there's a small percent that will take the GED if they're 18, 19, and they just haven't, they could be 2-3 years behind. It may be an option for them as well.
So your success rate will be about what Covina and West Covina would be at?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me what your relationship would be with, since we're here in West Covina, with West Covina Unified School District.
Yeah. Customer service is one of our strong suits, and so what we offer is an option for traditional school counselors to refer students that they may see that would benefit from this program. So what we do is we go to every traditional school that's in the area and meet with them on a regular basis, usually in the fall and then again a couple times during the year. We get a lot of referrals this time of year because students are realizing, hey, I might not be graduating because I'm not passing my classes, or I'm very far behind. I'd like to get out now so I can, maybe not get as many Fs or Ds as I'm planning on getting. So we'll go out. We spend a lot of time with traditional school counselors, with different community groups, and then work with the registrars, the school clerks, so that when they transfer back and forth, it's a smooth transition. Everybody knows exactly where the kid's at any period of time. So it would be very customer service focused to make sure that they know that we're an option for their students.
So a significant part of your marketing is by referral from those public schools?
Yeah, probably over half. Yeah, go ahead.
And in addition, I want to add that we have already written a letter to the superintendent of West Covina to introduce our program, and we requested if we can meet with them to talk about our program and explain to them how we can provide complementary services to school districts.
Commissioner Blackburn?
Yeah, a couple of questions. You basically call yourself a charter school. By the way, for what I have seen and read about your school, I'm very impressed. But just a couple of questions. As a continuation school, you have young students all the way up through high school. The younger students are probably there to get better study habits, maybe improve their learning skills and so forth. How many of the older students are attending a high school at this time, or have they dropped out while they also attend your school?
So they would, you're saying dual enrollment?
Yeah.
We don't do dual enrollment. They would be solely enrolled with us for the period of time that they wanted, and then they would go back or stay with us and graduate, or go back and finish at the. But most when they're 18 or 19, they don't really go back. The traditional schools rarely accept them at that age to go back. So they usually stay with us and either graduate or take a GED.
Now, when you say when they graduate, do you issue a diploma?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you do?
Yeah. It would be the same diploma as you would get at any other high school in the
So
state
it
of
would be
California.
just like an adult ed?
It would be more of, it's not adult ed, but some of the kids are a little bit older, but it would be the same diploma as if they had graduated as they were 17 or 18 and now they're 19 instead. So the diploma would allow them to go on to any college or university that would accept them, just as they would from West Covina High School or anything like that.
Is the diploma that you issue, is that basically a GED?
No, the diploma is separate. The GED is issued by the state through the GED program. We just have curriculum that can help them do well to pass and then help facilitate them to go get signed up and take it. In fact, we even have community members that donate to help pay for it for those that can't afford it. But the diploma is a California State High School diploma, just like any other diploma, fully accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, and coursework approved by the University of California.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yes, I've got a couple questions.
Commissioner Bowser?
Mr. Tudor, as far as you mentioned bullying and rules for the students, how do you deal with it if there is any kind of bullying or they don't follow the rules at the school or outside around the mall?
Yeah, we do a number of interventions. We have counselors, administrators that are available. It's shocking how little we do deal with it because the environment itself takes away the platform for that to really happen. But occasionally it does come up. And so that's why we ask the parents to be very involved with our program. And in fact, a lot of traditional school counselors use us to help as a vehicle for parents to get involved. Sometimes they're so afraid of a large comprehensive campus of just coming in to the school itself, the parents, that this is really much more relaxed and comforting to them so that they come in and they can see the progress and they can work with the teacher so that if any issues do arise that we can handle it. But it's shocking how rarely we deal with it because the environment doesn't allow for a lot of that to take place.
Okay, and just another question. You mentioned you have online classes. How do you ensure that the students are actually getting the most out of those classes and not having somebody else do that for them?
Right. They sign a number of documents saying that they are, the one doing that type of work. Also, they're monitored by the teacher on a regular basis, so we can see exactly when they log in, where they logged in from, how long they logged in for. Typically, you would know their skill level, so how they're progressing is a big indicator of that. The neat thing about the program is that because it's so one-on-one, the teacher learns that students' strengths and weaknesses, that family dynamic, and really gets to know the student intimately so that if there was an issue that came up like that, it would be pretty evident to the teacher.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Commissioner Velez?
I have several questions. First, let me ask you, I'm going to tell you, I'm all for education for children. And it's great that you have this type of school. I want to find out, are this all certified teachers that you have?
Absolutely. Every teacher is California state credentialed, and some of them we target and hire teachers that have a variety of credentials, but all our courses are 100% taught by highly qualified teachers, and that's reported through the state's CalPAD system and all that. Yes.
And my other question is, how many hours do they spend, the student? How many hours do they spend per day?
It would be, we require a minimum of 6 hours a day working on their schoolwork just as you would be at a traditional school site working on your work there too.
Another question, did I hear correctly that you said tuition was free?
Yes, all charter schools are public free tuition, or free tuition-free public schools.
So where do you get your monies?
From the state of California, a little tiny bit from the federal government.
Okay. Now, another thing, this is in regards to the building. As I was reading your report here, you stated that you were only going to have two restrooms. My question is, also too, and the handicap, the space, parking space, and where you're going to have built this school is right between the Weight Watchers and the first school bank, right? I go through there because we bank there at that school, at that bank. The parking is terrible. If you're going to have handicap, are you providing handicap parking for the people? Because all I've seen right in front is one space of handicap.
Excuse me, state your name and who you're with.
Stephen Liu with Westfield.
Okay, thank you.
There's two handicap spaces on the left side of
Verizon, but that's quite a ways from there.
It's about one store over.
Okay, but I'm thinking for the handicap. I'm thinking for handicap. Also, too, you stated that you only have two restrooms. Are those also, will they accommodate for wheelchairs?
Absolutely, because we are not going to get our permit and our final inspection unless it is ADA compliance.
Well, those are the
Yeah.
questions that I had.
Yes,
Okay, now,
thank you.
and also another question I have, is this year-round school, or are you going to have vacation or recess at any time?
Yeah, we're open for approximately 11 months out of the year. We're closed for 2 weeks during the Christmas holiday. We're closed for a week during spring break, a week at Thanksgiving, and then we have a few weeks during the summer where the classroom will be closed. But we are operating, but a lot of the major holidays, the classroom's closed.
Well, one of the things, look into the handicapped space.
Okay.
Because I know we do banking there, and trying to get parking in that area, especially now that they opened that new restaurant there, it is so difficult to find parking.
You mean the remodeled buffet?
That's right. Yeah. So thank you.
May I also add about your question about the credential for teachers? I just wanted to inform the Planning Commission. The charter schools are mandated to comply with, similarly with the school district. We have what you call the criminal background check. So each single employee has to go through that, your fingerprinting process, as well as the TB skin testing, and also the passing all the teachers to obtain the credential for California. And we also have what you call the NCLB compliance, which is your highly qualified, and we provide teachers the opportunity to go to schooling at our expense, workshops to obtain their highly qualified credential.
That's through a partnership with Ventura County Office of Education.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? I have a couple questions. Unless I misunderstood, I thought you said it was 6 hours a day, but only 2 days a week. Is that what you said?
The requirement for students is to be working on schoolwork 6 hours a day, but they're going to only be in the classroom twice a week for 2 hours at a time.
Okay, all right. And then the other thing, and I think you probably have done this, but I just want to make sure, there's several school districts within the city of West Covina, so I hope you're interfacing with all of them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And other than referrals from the high school, the schools, period, where do you get your students? How do you advertise? How do you attract students? How do they know about you?
Yeah, well, a lot of it's through word of mouth by parents and other students that talk about the program. Once they enrolled, siblings come. We have multiple families. A lot of folks, for religious reasons, prefer this program over traditional school. Homeschooling parents really like the program. The virtual learners. We also do advertisements in local newspapers. We've done radio. We've done flyers at like Starbucks, community boards, just so that the community is aware of what it is available to them at no cost.
Okay, and one last question. What do you do with the students, and how do you handle those that just say drop out, that don't meet your requirements and all that, and all of a sudden don't show up? Do you notify the school district, or how do you handle that?
We do. In fact, any kid that leaves us, whether they go back or not, once a month we're required by law to send a list of all the kids that left our program that were within that school district's boundaries. So we notify them that way. But I'll tell you, our staff is unbelievably committed to making sure that if a kid doesn't drop out, that they don't. And so we do home visits. We do, we interface with probation officers. We have a SARB process for Student Attendance Review Board. So if you're missing a certain amount of days, then you're getting the letters, and then it goes to the district attorney's office. And so we spend a lot of time to make sure that very few kids drop out of our program.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does anybody else want to speak in favor of the project? Can you state your name, please, and also fill out a card before you go.
Didn't have
Thank
a
you.
card with me, but as a Westfield, I'd just like to support the school, and we'd really like to have this addition to the shopping center. As much as a service it does for the education, it will definitely bring value to the property and to the community.
Thank you. Does anybody wish to speak in opposition? Hearing none, I'll close it, and I'll open it up to commission discussion. Anybody want to start?
Sure.
All right, Commissioner Costanos.
Okay, well, I'm definitely very much for education, and I think all the questions that concern me have been answered, so your track record is impressive. I hope you could continue it here in the city and help us improve the youth who need that kind of assistance. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Commissioner Blackburn? Nothing? Jealous? Menifee? Okay. I'm in favor of it. I think it's a good add to what's going on in the thing, and it sounds to me like you got really good control of what's going on. So with that, I'll close it to commission discussion and ask staff to read resolution number.
Resolution number will be 13-5508.
Right. Have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Commissioners?
Motion
Second.
by Blackburn, second by Castellanos. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pass 5-0.
Commissioners, I just wanted to point out there was a comment from staff prior to the start of the public hearing regarding changing the staff number from 4 to 6. So that should probably be part of the motion to make that amendment to the
4
resolution.
to 6.
Correct.
That was a condition of approval submitted in the resolution.
Oh, okay. So moved.
And second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to the next item. We've been asked on the administrative use permit for the martial arts school, that be delayed unless somebody in the audience wishes to speak on that matter. Does anybody wish to speak on that matter? Okay, if not, I make a motion to hold this over for a future meeting.
Second.
To April 23rd.
Anybody first? Anybody make a motion? Did you make a first? Okay, Castellan, second by Commissioner Menifee. All in favor?
Aye.
Pass 4-6 or 5-0? Okay. Are there any non-hearing items that we have tonight? Anybody want a continuation of oral communications? Now is the time to do it. Not going to say anything tonight. Come on up. Please state your name.
My name is Giancarlo Massarotto. I live in West Covina for quite a while. I was a member of Waste Management Environmental Quality Commission for 13 years. I received the award from Senator Cranston when the city of West Covina had the 50-year anniversary. In other words, I like to do volunteer job. I am a landscape architect, and I want to plant a few trees on Merlin Elementary School. I need your which will be like this. I brought the name.
What school was that, sir?
Elementary, Merlin Elementary School on Valinda Avenue.
Okay.
And I can show you my front yard. To show from some credit. If you like some grapefruit, I can bring you back next meeting. I give about 2, 3, 4 wheelbarrow volume like to the senior citizen in Laverne. I do it, the whole neighbor get grapefruit, oranges, avocado, no apple yet. Avocado plenty this year. Because luckily my neighbor gave me this present a few weeks ago to commemorate 150th anniversary of the USDA. I grew up as a farmer, so I like farming more than anybody else. The best landscape in Pasadena is Huntington Library. The oldest second of mine. I challenge anybody. I work also for Court of Appeal judges and the Supreme Court. I work everywhere. That's all I do. Work and eat. Can't do nothing else. I'm not addicted to anything. Only I work. And I work without a watch. My father told me if you no watch, the day is a lot longer. And I like it. So I send this. Because my time was 6 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the morning. I like it. That's all I can do. And this one, I'm crazy for this book. They are better than me. It's great. And wait. Yeah, brought the trees I wanted to plant.
Did you get a response back from this letter?
No, the school district asked me to check with the planning commission because I need some help from the West Covina maintenance, the backhoe for about half an hour, because my secret when I plant trees is to dig a large hole, cultivate the soil very well, mix it with the wood chips, 3-4 feet deep. This is my record. As you see, my front yard, I have my house is all covered now. I have macadamia nuts where the squirrel have a convention every year. They eat them all. Well, at least they have a place to go.
Well, I applaud you for your energy in doing this, but I need a little help from staff. This is not under our purview to approve
It is
anything.
not, and if he needs any equipment from the city, he will need to speak to the Public Works Director, and that, I'm not sure what process he will, what his ability is to have.
I use a tractor.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted to use the equipment.
No, I want nobody. I only live a mile away from the Sunset. What is the equipment is on Sunset Boulevard.
The maintenance yard,
Maintenance
yes.
yard, exactly. And if they can come with the tractor or backhoe anytime they want. It take maybe 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes, and then I provide everything else. I fix the irrigation, I fix everything.
You saying you want to do it yourself?
No, I need an operator.
You need someone from the city?
The
Yes.
The one I used to use moved to San Bernardino, so I'm not going to check with them because it's way too far.
Well,
And
what I'm saying is I don't think that comes under our jurisdiction to approve or disapprove this. So maybe we could have somebody get back to them after we check in.
Absolutely. I can, if I can get your contact information, I will pass it along to the Public Works Director.
Yeah,
But it's something that we don't approve here or disapprove. That's what I'm-
they told me to come back, ask you
Yeah,
which
okay.
way to do it.
I
All I do, I
think
like
it's
to
great.
do it, and I don't want to interfere with anybody.
Okay. All right.
And I
Yeah.
know once it's done, you're going to like it. The teacher likes it, so I bring grapefruit and everything to them too, so not to. Or
Very good.
I give it to the fire department, to the police department, everybody.
Chairman Holmes.
I have so many.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Just to add also, even if the city was to assist with this project, we're not in that business of just driving our tractors onto school property. So without full coordination with the school district, I think that has to probably start with them since it's their property.
Right.
Correct.
So,
In fact,
I think it
I'm
would
gonna
help
make
too
this
if you had
application tomorrow.
if you got a response back from the school district first. That would give you more ammunition to go forward. Okay.
They told me, the school district told me to ask you first. No, sorry. It was, I checked with the city, West Covina maintenance. They told me to, Mr. Wallich, to come here and check with the planning department, which I'm about to do.
Well,
And now I go to the school district and get their opinion, and then I come back here.
well, I would think that if the school district said yes, it's a good idea,
Yes.
then the city could,
Fine.
move forward if they wanted to. But again, it's not under our purview to do this.
I understand. I need a favor only to use the backhoe, somebody use the backhoe,
Right.
that's all. Then I
Okay.
do the rest of it. I provide wood chips, the trees, I have trees already, all of them.
Will you give your name and how we can contact you? We'll investigate and get back to you as to who you need to go to.
No,
Could you do me a favor and fill out one of these cards so we have your correct spelling and telephone number?
Should be right there.
Oh, there should be some right here, shouldn't it? Right here. Right here. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I applaud your energy.
Oh, I like to.
I need a few trees at my house.
Oh, by the way, I went to Cal Poly Pomona University, and a teacher from Texas gave me this book just to show how small the world is. This is the book from my high school in old country. It's written in a foreign language, though. So I'm still a foreigner. And the reason I came to U.S., I work in Italy for the ex-governor of Bahamas, Sir Stafford Sand. He had a gorgeous villa twice the size of the White House. I was a landscaping manager there with 15 people. He told me to go in England to learn English. I picked California, I got stuck.
Did you ask me to read this?
Pardon?
Did you ask me to read this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't read that language. I failed that in school.
Not only that.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Okay, that brings us to commission reports and comments and miscellaneous items. This is a time when any member of the commission may bring any matter to the attention of the full commission that is within the scope of duties assigned to the commission. Any item that was considered during the agenda is not appropriate for discussion in this section of the agenda. No commission discussion or action can be considered at this time. If the commission desires to discuss an issue raised by a speaker or take any action, the commission may vote to agendize that matter for a future meeting. Any items? None? Okay. That brings us to the planning director's report. Ms. Planning Director.
There's just the project status report submitted in your packet.
Any items on there?
I do have a question on LA Fitness.
Okay.
Do they have a building permit?
Yes, they're under construction right now.
Okay. Is it a date on that we just have to fill in? That's what I was wondering, because it was blank on that box.
take a look.
What page,
The first page.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Approve, bond check approval. Okay, we'll make sure it gets updated. I apologize. I do believe that they do have a building permit. They're under construction already.
That was my only question.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? No?
I'm being corrected. They don't have a building permit. I thought that.
Right now, they're actually getting prepared for grading, so they have to get grading final before they get a building permit. So it'll be a couple months before they get a building permit until the pad is ready. So we should see activity in middle of summer.
By the way, they're really moving along fast on that grading. I mean, last time I looked at a big mound, next time I looked it was level, so they're moving quite well. Anyone else? No? Okay. City council action?
What was it again?
City council action?
None to report.
None report. Okay, that brings us to the end of the meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. By Menifee, second by Calstart. So meeting is adjourned. Thank you.